Well, that gives us the Indiana Pacers,
Yeah,
who,
baby.
for anyone who's watched the Pacers recently, they play fun basketball. I love watching the Pacers. I wrote this in the column I wrote today, but they're second in the NBA in passing. And you can look at guys like Andrew Nembhard that we'll talk about, TJ McConnell, Tyrese Halliburton. They really embody the selflessness that you really love to see in terms of ball movement and getting everyone involved. It's just an exciting brand of basketball to watch every single time that you watch the Pacers. The guy who kind of stops that a lot of the time is Ben Mathurin, not in a bad way necessarily, because I think that they tell him to come in and go get some offense a little bit. But Ben Mathurin is the guy that comes in and changes the tempo a little bit with his athleticism, with his aggressiveness out in transition. Hopefully with his shooting. He hasn't shot it well over the course of the last 20 games or so, but it's been really exciting to watch the Pacers young guys try and bring it together in a really impactful way. What have been your impressions of the Indiana Pacers young guys, particularly Ben Mathurin and Andrew Nembhard, who are currently ranked 2nd and 8th, respectively, in my rookie rankings on theathletic.com?
The Pacers are getting a lot of mileage out of what I call simple basketball, which is have a high IQ creator, spread the floor around him with a ton of shooters, and have a couple different bigs that you can get in there for different needs on the offensive end, but have solid defensive chops to clean things up. And does Mathurin need to shoot the ball a little bit better as he started to slump a little bit more? Yeah, he has. The catch and shoot ability is always going to be huge when you're playing next to a creator like Tyrese Halliburton. But part of understanding what rookies bring to the table and how to really get the most out of them early on in their careers is to keep the game simple for them. And Rick Carlisle has been a master this year as a guy who developed a little bit of a reputation when he was at Dallas for not meshing with rookies really well or trusting some younger guys. He has done a great job of simplifying the roles for these two rookies that he's playing a lot of minutes right now. And it's paying off. Mathurin gets to come in and be aggressive, fly in transition, get some maybe second side creation opportunities, attack the basket. He's done a good job of getting to the free throw line this year, Sam. I've been impressed by that from Mathurin. And then Nembhard is so cerebral. And to have a high IQ pass first point guard who, is shooting the ball a lot better than I ever thought he would as a pro, it allows Carlisle to hand the reins to these young guys and live with the results and not feel like, they don't feel like they're going to be taken out of the game if they make one or two mistakes, because everything around them is so well spaced and they're just asked to do kind of the very simple things. Nembhard, go operate out of the pick and roll, knock down open shots if you're playing off of it. Ben, get downhill and attack, be super aggressive. That's it.
Yep.
Great.
Rick Carlisle has a reputation sometimes for being very hard on rookies, particularly younger point guards. But Andrew Nembhard has just been like the perfect addition for them into their starting lineup. He's the one of the two that's actually starting. I know that they play about the same minutes. Ben might even play a few more minutes per game, but you watch how important Nembhard is to what they do. It goes way beyond the box score. Like, he's averaging like 8 points and 3 assists per game, but he keeps it moving along the perimeter at a really high level. He takes on like tougher defensive assignments than I ever would have guessed when he was at Gonzaga. That is the craziest thing about Andrew Nembhard's season so far, is like they often have him guard the best offensive player on the perimeter, so that Tyrese Halliburton's freed up to not have to deal with that. Or, if Duarte is out there, he doesn't have to deal with it. If someone else is out there, he doesn't have to deal with it, right? Like, it's a very surprising development, I guess I would say, in terms of Andrew Nembhard's career. I know you wanted to say something.
Well,
so you can jump in.
I just feel like he's kind of doing it by default in those lineups, right? Like, you don't want Duarte or Buddy Hield kind of doing that.
Yeah.
And I think Halliburton is so impactful as a help defender, really smart and cerebral with his rotations, good at shooting passing lanes, and you don't want to wear him out on the offensive end of the floor. To me, it's almost like he's doing it by default. But to your point, I would have never expected him to be as competent as he has been thus far. Like, he's been okay in doing that.
Yeah, no, look, he gets beaten like a fairly real amount of the time, but that's fine. Like it's more that he gets occasional wins on that end and frees up other guys to not have to do it, I think is the important part of this. Like, yeah, he's going to get beaten. He's a rookie that like isn't an elite defender who's taking on tough assignments, but his intelligence, his willingness to fight and scratch and claw has been really integral to what they've been able to do. And then Ben, like you said, it's that aggressiveness, that toughness, that mentality that he's just going to come in and go get his immediately. He's averaging 17 points a game. He's the second leading scorer among rookies so far this season, even with the down couple of, I guess we're up to like a full month here that he's struggled, maybe even a little bit longer in terms of the shooting. But I think it goes to show just how impactful Ben's athleticism is. I always thought that was kind of the most underrated skill that a lot of people didn't recognize with Ben Mathurin coming into the draft. He's not just like a good athlete. He's a genuinely great athlete by NBA standards. And because of that, he's going to be able to come in and really impact the game just by being aggressive at a high level. So as soon as the shooting comes around, he's going to be averaging 20 points a game, and he's going to be absolutely terrific. You'd love to see the defensive instincts come along. I think that, along with the fact that like the passing instincts aren't always there, is probably why Rick Carlisle loves to bring him off the bench and be that impactful rotation player who can go get you offense when you need offense. And this is a team that sometimes does need that additional boost on the wing offensively. So I like everything about the way the Pacers operate. I really enjoy watching this team right now. Everything about them is absolutely terrific. And, Andrew Nembhard, I think I don't know if he's the biggest surprise for me among the rookie class, but he's up there just in terms of being able to play at this level, not just as a backup, but as a starter, taking on tougher defensive assignments and being able to live out there on those tougher defensive assignments is very, very impressive to me.
Yeah, he's one of the two biggest surprises of this rookie class thus far for me, Sam. Been really impressed by Nembhard.